This is the first game of the Winston Draft that we played at Ripon Card Trick in McMinnville, Oregon. Up top is Dominic playing the deck that he drafted, and then I am down at the bottom of the screen here. So we're getting set up here to get started. We are looking at mulligan options, and I'm keeping it light this evening, and I chose not to sleeve my decks. I typically like sleeving my decks, just not really necessarily to preserve the value of the cards, but because I find that it makes handling them on the table a little bit easier. But for the essence of time and just to keep it loose and to have some of those old school vibes, I chose not to do that in this case. My turn one here, I'm going to go ahead and play, looks like a Spire, and then pass turn over. Donuts going to untap. He has a Valley out right now. Second sight is going to be a Stream, so he's got Earth and Water. And then for one, he is going to play a Sly Fox out. Early Sly Fox can be annoying just because as soon as it gets onto your site, it's kind of like having maybe like a Devil's Egg or something, where they're doing 1 point of damage per turn on you, unless you have a way to remove them and get around, remove them in a way that gets around the stealth. My turn two, I'm going to go ahead and play a Bog out, and that is going to disable the site that the Sly Fox is on to buy myself a turn from being pinged by it. And then I'm going to play Hider Sprites. And I didn't get to look at his hand, so I'm not quite sure what to call. It's Arthurian Legends only, with a Water site and an Earth site out, so I think I call maybe like Swindler Troop. I'm thinking in my mind about like what potential 2-drop, what potential 3-drops could there be in these elements, and just making my best guess. Dominic's turn, he plays a Wildfire, and he doesn't have a 3-drop, so he passes turn back. So my turn here, I'm going to attack into his Stream with the Sprites. He's going to choose to let that in. I'm going to tap for a sight. And we see a pond come out, and I believe, unfortunately, I cannot make use of that Genesis. The way that I constructed this deck, I think there's only like one beast in it, like a Lake-of-Fonk. So it would have been a good value to get a Lake-of-Fonk out on this turn with the pond, but instead I play a Shameless Squire. And I decide to play that, I think, instead of holding it, to hit my curve. I looked at what was in my hand, and I think I had a 4-drop or another 3-drop or something, and I decided it was more important to hit curve and like make my drops every turn to continue to press advantage, since Dominic hadn't been able to play a minion on his previous turn. He's going to tap for a second Wasteland. And then he is looking at his options for plays. He's got 4 mana for turn. He's going to swing in with the Fox for that guaranteed point of damage. You cannot defend against a stealthed attack. And then he's going to play a Grain Sparrow to heal back up to 20. And then pass turn. So unfortunately, he doesn't seem like he's hitting his minion curve in the way that he wants. If his turn 4 play was the Grain Sparrow. So drawing a spell for turn, and I believe I'm going to be playing out another sight here. Dominic looks like in his hand he has a Lugbog Cat, which would be great if he could bring it out. I think he's just getting choked on threshold requirements for it. He needs two water in order to play it, or he would have needed a pond to play it. So I tap for a beacon. The beacon is going to provide 1 when it comes in, as well as 2 mana for the 2 nearby minions. And that's going to give me 6 mana to cast the Unseelie Court out on my turn 4, which I felt pretty good about. I thought that was a pretty advantageous and cool ramp to get that out so quickly. Attacking into his home site with the Hider Sprites to get 2 points in, and attacking into the stream with the Esquire for 1. He calls no blocks with the Grain Sparrow. I think he is probably saving it for a potential blocker against the Unseelie. And the Unseelie Court, its ability at the start of my turn, it is going to force a universal discard of 2 cards from hand. And I believe specifically the card says spells, not sites, or not sites. So he has to play what he can out of his hand before he is going to get penalized with those discards. He's going to tap for another site. It is a 3rd Wasteland, which I don't know what the rest of the cards are in his hand, but I know we saw that Lugbog Cat earlier on screen, and unfortunately he can't get that out. But he does have 5 to play a Viking, which is a pretty good play, and he plays that on the home site diagonal to the Unseelie Court, so the Unseelie Court can't attack into it, which is good. And it also now threatens to be able to tap for its ability to kill the Shameless Squire. So now I have a turn to kind of figure out how I want to deal with and work around the Viking that's in play. And then at the start of the turn, Unseelie's ability is going to force that discard. And I'm going to get a discard in here. So it's a discard for 2 spells. It's 1 for each fairy in the realm. And it looks like he had a Pukas, in addition to the Lugbog Cat that he had to pitch into the cemetery. Looking at my hand, I think I saw a Helpful Hob, and in this case, I think I'm going to keep the Helpful Hob, just because if I can get it out, I can get an untap on the Unseelie Court and potentially swing in with it twice on this turn. So I make some hard choices, and I get rid of a Burning Hands and a Banshee. And I don't know if it was like the best choice to throw out the Burning Hands because it's such a strong card, but I really wanted that Helpful Hob on this turn to be able to do that double swing. I'm declaring an attack into the stream with the Unseelie to see if he wants to block. With the Viking, he opts not to. and then attack again and invite him to defend. And he chooses to defend at that point and defend with both the Green Sparrow and the Viking to trade. If I'm looking at optimal plays, looking back on this, what I should have done is have the Reckless Squire drop the lance, trade it to... Well, I guess that wouldn't have worked because then the Unseelie Court couldn't have picked it up if it attacked in. I guess I could have moved the Squire and then traded the lance first. And then I play the Helpful Hob and untap the Unseelie Court. So Dominic is, I think, in a tough spot, just having to trade all the minions for the Unseelie Court, and then getting that swing in for 5, set him back, as well as like having, you know, I have several minions on the board. They are not like the highest power, but they are still they're still coming in and doing damage each turn. And just like looking at, you know, the start of my turn here now, like the Hider Sprites are only 2, Squire is 1, Hob is 1, but together they're going to swing in for 4 points of damage. So unless he can draw an answer to that tide of minions coming at him, I am going to win the race to door by a long shot. And then put him in a tough position with the amount of minions I have, like just surrounding his avatar. Swindler Troop comes down, which again is just another body that is harder for him to deal with. It's a 3 power. Swindler Troop is also on Genesis, giving the Squire stealth. Dominic's tapping for a second stream. He plays a Lake-a-Fonk and swings in with the Sly Fox again for that extra point of damage. The Sly Fox is actually it's in a good position on the board. Like he was able to walk and attack it all the way to my home site where my avatar is. And I mean, if he gets me to door, it makes it really hard for me to get away from him because I can't just take a step away from the fox. Like the fox will always be in position to move and attack for that final point of unblockable damage for the kill shot. So I would have to do something to give me additional movement or remove the fox through stealth. Here I'm choosing to take a step forward, not to get away from the fox, but because I have a spell in hand that I want to potentially play, and I'm also looking at kind of the end game here and thinking about how I'm going to box in his avatar for that final point of damage. So to get rid of the Lake-a-Fonk, I attacked in with my first minion, and then I followed up with the Shameless Squire. The Shameless Squire was holding the lance, and so it would strike first and then kill the Lake-a-Fonk before it could put its lethal damage onto it. I felt that was the best trade I could make, just giving him 1 creature for it versus potentially losing the Swindler Troop or giving him like 2 or 3 creatures for it. And then I played the Huntress out there on my last turn, again just to put another minion on the board here, and make it more difficult for him to get away when he gets the door. Swinging for 1 again with the fox, and then passing turn. So, I mean, my current minion power on the board here is 7. So I'm attacking in. I'm thinking about how I'm doing this here. I'm attacking in. Taking a step. And I believe I need to see my hand again. I think I might have the arc lightning in there. And I think I'm taking steps forward just so I am guaranteed to be in range of his avatar, even if he tried to move. He plays guards, which is a really good card, and it would have done a lot of work for him if he had been able to get it a turn or two earlier, especially. But he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't know that. I'm pretty sure I have that damage spell in my hand, which he doesn't know about. And you often don't know what cards are in your opponent's hand, so you just play the best you can play with the knowledge that you have. So there's the arc lightning for the final damage for the win here, and it was a pretty good game here. I think, yeah, like Dominic's deck just it got choked on threshold issues, and it got he got stuck on his minion curve tempo, which are all problems which can come up when you're building a limited format deck. You are stuck with the cards that you have drafted in your card pool, and you just do the best to make it work. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.